Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And without further ado, let's get into your selection. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? There's a card. It just kind of like stuck there, so I let it stay there. I guess we'll find out what it is. The Sun card in the center with the 5 of Pentacles. Oh. Now, is that you on the outside or somebody else? But if it's you on the outside, it seems to be working for you. Maybe it's something you wanted to get out of. Your energy is in a good place. Oh, the Tower. You might be getting away from the Tower card. Okay. So there's a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of changes going on. So like a quick analogy that I'm kind of getting is like there could have been a lot of problems at work and maybe you just recently got a new job or you're about to. Or if it's still work related, whatever the problem was, it has been removed and you don't have to deal with it anymore. There's something here with something going really with the Tower in this reading. I'm not really feeling that good about that Tower. I feel like there was a problem that like I couldn't seem to get a handle of. No matter what I did to try to make it go right, it just seemed to not go right. It seemed like it was very volatile. People didn't really want to work with me or each other on this situation, whatever it was, and that energy seems to have moved itself away from you, or you have moved yourself away from it. It doesn't seem like I was expecting that to go my way, but it has gone my way. Things are going better at the moment. Which number is that? 5 of Cups? 5 of Cups, okay. The Phoenix card. Okay. And the 6 of Cups is there too, but currently things, I feel like I've moved away from the disruption. But I also feel like when I get the Phoenix, especially the Phoenix and the 5 of Cups, it talks about cycles. Phoenix has a cycle of rising from the ashes, burning bright, burning out, plummeting to the ground, and then starting the cycle all over again. It's a cycle though. The plummeting to the ground is not that enjoyable. Not really. And I feel like we've gotten out of that, but this is also the 5 of Cups, kind of like you probably are very well aware it's good right now, but like we'll go through this cycle again, and I don't really want to, but maybe this is just what has to happen for right now. You're in a place of you're in a position of strength at the moment. Your card is there, the Lovers, along with the 5 of Swords, telling me right now it's good, but I know it won't stay there forever. And you seem to be very much on point with that. It's good right now, but it won't stay here forever. So I guess I should just live it up while I can. Which, if you're not feeling that way, they're kind of saying live it up while you can for this part. But this reading isn't just here to say, hey, guess what? That's how that works. And bye. That's not how this is supposed to go. So the face down card. 8 of Pentacles is hidden. You can change some of this. You can change your connection to this cycle. You don't just have to wait for your turn to come around again, whatever that means. We don't have to go through the whole Phoenix cycle constantly. You can change how this is going. It's going to take a bit of work, but you do have the option to change what's going on here. At least in the way you relate to it. Because there's some parts of this When the energy is going good and it's really flying high and it's burning bright, that Phoenix energy, it's fun. It's a lot of good times. It's a lot of good things. But when it burns out and it plummets to the ground, we're not looking to do that again. Is it the Three of Pentacles? Yep, work. So the Eight of Pentacles was hidden. The Three of Pentacles is coming up anyway. Either way, there's going to be work that has to be done. The thing is, working in a way that actually serves you better instead of the other situation. So, I feel like this is going to come across really weird, but I'm going to say what it's going to... Don't go with what you want to do. No, that's not how this is, right? Give me that. I feel like that's about other people. Don't please other people. Yeah. It doesn't have to mean you completely abandon loyalty. And it doesn't have to mean you have to completely set off on your own, but they're saying be careful about pleasing other people. Apparently there's something about being too agreeable or too pleasant is what I keep getting. This reminds me of when somebody like calls out an issue and then somebody immediately steps in and goes, why do you have to be so negative? It's not negative to address a problem before it's really serious. That's not negative. It's actually more negative to pretend that things are better than they actually are and to just have to pay the balance later because we ignored it. Like, this reminds me of like somebody like trying to bully you a little bit. When you're trying to like, we could do this or we could do that. Why do you have to be so negative? Just enjoy it for what it is. That's not negative. And I keep getting this somebody pushing at me like, oh, don't be so negative. Don't be so negative. It's not negative to address things that are going to have to be addressed sooner or later anyway, or to address things and kind of like, you know, that's good, but it could be better. And why not go for better if we want better? Be careful about being too agreeable. Be careful about that. It could be a people pleaser problem there. Be careful of that. This is a very start the fire energy, ironically. It's the way it looks. It's because of the way the card... That's one of the reasons I like different decks, because they give different energies. This is the Page of Swords. And I'm seeing the fire at the tip of the sword there. Like, starting the fire before it happens is more controllable. I don't know much about fighting fires, just to be fair, and especially like forest fires and stuff like that. But I do know that sometimes they dig trenches or they cut down swatches of trees to like keep the situation from continuing on to a point where it's going to be out of control. So this is almost like creating manageable fires now, so that way we don't have to deal with an uncontrollable fire later. So I'm not like trying to say start problems. I'm not trying to go that way. Because I feel like that's what it sounds like. Yeah, Gemini, go start problems. Yeah, just for fun. Why not? No, it's not where I'm going, I swear. But they're saying calling out things and getting people involved and kind of like talking to the people you need to talk to, kind of like, oh, I know this is going to bend them out of shape. But also, it's going to bend them out of shape because they're going to do something about it. So maybe I should say it to this person and highlight it to this person. That way, they can start correcting that before everything goes off at once. I feel like I just keep getting it's like starting little fires to control the situation so a big fire doesn't happen. The vast creativeness there of the cosmos. This doesn't have to be one of those things we just go along and enjoy it as long as possible, and then when it falls apart, it falls apart. If we do little controlled fires, it's like calling out issues before they become a big issue. And I keep getting pushback, and like somebody's gonna, at least one, is going to be like saying, oh, Gemini, you're so negative. You're not. You're doing control before it gets to the point where it's just going to be out of control anyway. So instead of waiting until it's out of control, these little moments could actually be a very great benefit. Which king is that? King of Wands? Is that going to be a help or a hindrance for Gemini? Because it could go either way, the way this reading is going. Four of Pentacles and the Star card. there may be I don't know that this is going to go to your benefit. The King of Fire is usually an ally for Gemini, but it depends on the subject. Like, just because certain energies can get along doesn't mean they will get along. Let's just be fair. I feel like there's a lot of people in your life you could probably easily identify that you are usually quite compatible with, but not always. Every now and then, just something goes sideways or something goes a different way. We all have people like that in our lives where most of the time we get along with them, but once in a while, things just don't link up that way. I don't know if this is something you want to deal with directly. This is a very strong energy. If you decide that's appropriate, you do what you feel is appropriate. It may be better to work in smaller groups and have other people bring it forward from different angles, and keep yourself more in the background, just to make sure it kind of works out and it keeps going. If you go towards this energy directly, that could be a very overwhelming situation. Some of you can handle it, others of you maybe not so much. I'm saying even if you can, they're saying it's probably better to go at pieces, let other people bring it forward and stay more in the background to get the ultimate outcome you're looking for. If you go directly at it, this energy might overwhelm you. It could be very, very overwhelming. The fairness and balance is telling me if you have other allies helping you, it could balance out this energy and it could help take care of this before it becomes an issue. Otherwise, you could have that energy where somebody kind of says, oh, Gemini, why do you got to be the problem? Gemini is not the problem. Gemini is trying to solve the problem before it becomes overwhelming. There will be stress. There will be stress, and there is only so much you can do. This is very interesting with the Nine of Wands for you, for Gemini. Going directly is going to be a lot of stress. Going directly doesn't seem to be working. But you're Gemini. You can get around this gate. It's a gate with a fence around it. You can find other ways in. Maybe you can't do it directly, but there's other ways to get this taken care of, and keep that in mind. Work with the people who are kind to you. Work with the people who agree with you and can handle the different pieces in different ways and help you move this forward. Work with others on this one is what I keep getting. Ultimately, it should work out. Be careful. Be careful, because sooner or later, I do feel like the truth will come forward, so keep that in mind too. So be careful what you're doing and how you bring it forward in other ways, because the truth will come forward at some point. So you just want to be able to like be in a position where you're like, yeah, I did that, and this is why I did that, and I feel like it was for the best. Because the Emperor will come forward with the big picture. Somebody will figure it out, and it may be even the same energy here. It could be the same King of Fire. The Emperor is also a fire energy, a very strong fire energy. So it could be a match in with that. At some point, whoever this is may figure out what was going on and what role you played in it. Just make sure you realize that that's coming forward so you can position yourself in a position of strength to where, all right, yeah, I did that. And I feel like it obviously worked out for the best. And this is why I was just bouncing it off other people to make sure what I felt matched what they felt, that I wasn't just making it up on my own. I was conferring with other people to see if it held water, if it made sense. I checked with this person. This is what I thought. This is what they thought. We worked it out. They decided what they thought. I checked with somebody else to get a different, fresh opinion. And this is why we talked it out over here. It wasn't about me trying to create what I wanted. It was about me checking my opinion and fact-checking and working it through other people to see if what I was seeing is what other people were seeing as well. So it's just kind of like making sure you see this and you realize it's going to come forward at some point. I feel like you'll be completely fine. You know how to handle it. You'll be okay. It will come forward at some point. All right. I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.